Good afternoon, Mrs. Hanlon. I would like, excuse me?
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. I would like your perspective to share with everyone what your thoughts were when we originally looked at this data back in March, where we're looking at the seventh grade baseline writing for the document-based essay. And you looked at this data, which represents all the seventh graders. So it's not just your class, it's the PLC seventh grade group. The average was a 73 for the baseline. What was your original thoughts with that number?
My original thought was it's surprising, but it was a little bit lower than I had anticipated. But I was still pleased that 73% of our students passed, and we had that grade. I believe that, over the summer, maybe there was a lag, and maybe that's why the student grades were a little bit lower, because as we know, most students probably are not studying over the summer, so perhaps the grades are a little bit lower.
Okay. And so then we went on, and in the second marking period, we did the second document-based essay. Then we noticed that in seventh grade, that average went up to 81% for marking period 2. And based on that growth, what was your thought then?
Well, I was very pleased to see that growth, because clearly the students are learning. And I know that within our seventh grade community, we discussed on taking smaller steps and making sure that students are accomplishing, say, the introduction paragraph before we teach them or build upon what they've already learned from sixth grade, and working on evidence for the body paragraphs. So they're remembering what they've learned from the previous years and taking information that we're teaching them this year.
Great point, because based on that, then we looked at the whole school data. We're looking at sixth grade, as you mentioned, their baseline and their marking period 2 document-based essay. We also looked at eighth grade, their baseline and their second marking period document-based essay. And where now did you focus, and why? What stood out? What made your group, your PLC group, sort of have a deeper discussion about what these numbers really
represent the
yeah.
overall data? Well, we can tell clearly that from sixth grade there was a bigger percentage increase, and we attribute that to the amount of writing they were doing previous to the middle school. And clearly they had a higher increase because the teachers were all focusing on writing, and they had a huge increase. Coming into seventh grade, they're taking that knowledge and building upon that, which is giving them a smaller percentage increase, but they're still building on what they learned from the previous years. And then going to eighth grade, they've taken the knowledge from seventh grade, and they are increasing. It is a higher overall grade than seventh grade, but in eighth grade they're still learning and they're still retaining that information.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Hamlin. So now our next group will be the eighth grade, and we hope to see how they put the picture all together, similar to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.